Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Mii Weekly, this time for June 4th, 2021. I'm Hero TJ, coming to you from Taipei, Taiwan. We're looking at a pretty light news week. I think it's the calm before the E3 storm, but I've still got a couple interesting topics to discuss with you, so let's jump right in. The lead headline, Nintendo has announced their plans for E3 2021. In a tweet earlier this week, Nintendo invites us to join them for their E3 2021 live stream starting at 9 a.m. Pacific time on June 15th. That's midnight for me here in Taiwan. It will include a Nintendo Direct, roughly 40 minutes in length, focused exclusively on software, mostly releasing in 2021 for the Nintendo Switch system. And stick around after the Nintendo Direct presentation for roughly 3 hours of deep dives into select games with those who know them best, as Nintendo of America's Treehouse staff and guests stream live gameplay and commentary. I'm really excited about this year's exclusively digital E3 format. It really feels like a natural evolution if you ask me. Amiibo Jason and I just got done recording our 1 hour long E3 predictions. We discuss what we expect to see at E3, what we hope to see, as well as topics like a potential Switch Pro sometime in the near or not so near future, Amiibo, of course, and a whole bunch of Zelda talk. If it's not available to stream yet at the time you're watching this, you can expect it shortly, and I hope you'll give it a listen or a watch right here on the Nintendo Wire YouTube channel. And please don't hate me too much if I throw a little shade at Mario Odyssey. Next in the news, Nintendo appears to be underway on the development of a Nintendo Museum. While there are several destinations to celebrate Nintendo's characters in Japan, there hasn't been a place to visit in the interest of the company's history itself. Nintendo Wire's own Ricky Berg has walked past the company's headquarters in Kyoto, and according to him, it's a fairly plain building. Apparently, this type of thing is on Nintendo's radar, as they've announced their plans to open a public gallery. The museum-like space will be housed in the converted Uji Ogura plant, a building originally dedicated to the manufacturing of Hanafuda and playing cards. Since then, it's been a customer service center dedicated to hardware repairs, but in the not-too-distant future, it'll be a place for visitors to take in the, quote, product development history and philosophy of Nintendo. The facility is tentatively titled Nintendo Gallery, and will offer both exhibits and experiences for guests. No firm release date is currently available, but it's expected to complete by the end of the fiscal year 2023. My friend and colleague Ricky Burke has a write-up on NintendoWire.com, which I have mostly paraphrased for you just now. Here in Taiwan, I'm just a rock's throw away from Japan, so once it becomes safe to travel again, you can bet I'll be taking my family over there immediately upon its completion. Releasing today, DC Superhero Girls Teen Power for Nintendo Switch, published by Nintendo. You can join the fight as Wonder Woman, Supergirl, and Batgirl from the animated series DC Superhero Girls to save Metropolis from some of DC's most notorious supervillains. You can also have sweet hangs at the Metropolis High School, and sweet justice, whatever that is. You might be thinking this is a game that wouldn't have much appeal for a man in his late 30s, such as myself, and you'd be right, but I do have an 8-year-old daughter, and she's a big fan of the DC Superhero Girls cartoon. I'm a pretty big DC fan myself. I grew up watching Batman the Animated Series, and to this day I still consider it to be one of the best comic book adaptations of all time. And while I don't have any particular interest in the DC Superhero Girls version of these characters, I have a great appreciation for Wonder Woman, Supergirl, and Batgirl as characters, and wouldn't mind teaming up with my daughter, except I was crushed to discover this is a one-player only game. I was really kind of hoping for a simplified version of maybe the X-Men Legends games for the GameCube, or a Marvel Ultimate Alliance, but unfortunately it looks like my daughter's gonna have to save the city of Metropolis as a solo act. And the last thing I want to mention before moving on, last week I covered the pre-order bonus for the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity expansion pass. I displayed an image of Link in his cool new Guardian gear, but I accidentally equipped him with the wrong weapon. So what you're looking at now is actually the weapon included as the pre-order bonus. I guess I was in a little bit too much of a hurry when I was capturing the footage last week, so thanks to Ultra Yoshi for bringing that to my attention. Now playing! Needless to say, it has been nothing but the Miitopia story. Goodness gracious, I love this game. Miitopia caught me hook, line, and sinker. The game loop has immense appeal to me. I've been playing it pretty much every free moment that I have. And this past week, I happened to have a lot of free moments. I've probably managed to log dozens of hours. I play several hours during the day. I've even pulled a couple all-nighters on it. I really love everything about it. I love making the Miis. This week's project was Princess Daisy, and I was really struggling with it. So I went to quite extensive lengths to get a Daisy I was happy with. I looked up a picture of Daisy online, scaled it to match the size of the Mii head in the Mii Maker on Miitopia, traced it with contact paper, and then taped the contact paper over the Nintendo Switch screen so that I can ensure that my proportions were accurate to Daisy. I know that's insane, and it took me like forever, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. I did roll credits on the main campaign, which is pretty lengthy, and I'm far from tired of it, and I'm really happy to report that even after you beat the game, there's still a considerable amount of stuff to do, and I'm still plugging away. I've used the capture feature to collect something like over 1,000 cool moments or charming exchanges. And there's something about the ability to see Dark TJ with an accurate color scheme in-game without me having to make any post-production modifications. This is a first, and there's still something so amazingly surreal about that to me. As soon as I finish up here with Mii Weekly, I'm probably gonna go right back to playing more Miitopia. Again, I realize this game is not for everyone, but it is definitely made for me. Welcome to the Art Gallery, where I get to feature Nintendo-themed art submitted by you. This week, we're looking at a submission from Splash of Color with this stunning piece of Hero TJ. What I really love about it is while it does capture the essence of Hero TJ, it's not based on any design in particular. Splash of Color designed the outfit all on their own, and it really looks fantastic. And not to leave out everyone's favorite mischievous Mii malcontent, Splash of Color also did a render of Dark TJ, accompanied by this post. Anyone else remember when Dark TJ said he wanted to create a world of light? Just me? Okay, Mii v Mii is my newest fixation, and I welcome our shadowy overlord. So here's a drawing of him. All I have to say to that is, be careful what you wish for. Thank you so much, Splash of Color. I really appreciate you sharing your artistic talents. If you want your Nintendo-themed art showcased here on Mii Weekly, tag me on Twitter with the hashtag MiiWeekly, or send it to me directly by email, customconquest@gmail.com. This episode's Spirit of the Week comes from Yuan Lee. We're looking at number 1285, Rayman. This render comes from Rayman Legends Definitive Edition. Rayman stars in a series of Ubisoft platformers set in a magical world with a wide scope of thematic environments. His lack of arms grants his punches a rather dramatic range. He can also helicopter his hair to help overcome platforming challenges on a quest to rescue tiny blue creatures known as Teensies, scattered throughout the lands. Rayman's trophy in Smash Wii U credits him with unfailing determination, stating, no matter how many times he falls, he'll always get back up. Should you equip the Rayman spirit in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, he'll bolster your fighter with a boosted jump. Thanks to Yuan Lee for the suggestion. If there's a particular spirit you'd like to see featured as the Spirit of the Week, leave your suggestion in the comment section below, and if yours is selected, you'll be recognized in the episode with an on-screen credit just like our friend Yuan Lee. Now it's time to sound off. In honor of DC Superhero Girls Teen Power releasing today, I thought we'd reminisce about other popular comic book characters getting the video game treatment. My question for you is, what's the best game you've ever played starring comic book characters? I'm a pretty big DC fan. Batman's probably my favorite comic book character of all time, but it's no secret that the DC cast of characters certainly have their fair share of duds in the video game category. For every good game, there's a whole handful of bad ones. But if I had to determine what my favorite comic book character translated into a video game format would be, off the top of my head, I'd have to go with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Turtles in Time for the SNES. It really captured the essence of the characters and supplanted them into a pretty fun and highly playable game scenario. I'm sure there's some really good ones that I'm overlooking or haven't had a chance to play, but I'm really curious to read what you think. Leave your pick in the comments section below. And that's a wrap for this edition of Mii Weekly. Thanks for spending another Friday with me. And if this is your first time, you know we do this every Friday, and I want to personally extend an invitation to you to make this a regular thing. I hope I see you again next week. Who knows how much E3 information will be disseminated between now and then? The show is getting awfully close, and the biggest and best companies out there are gearing up to show us what they've got in store for the future. Be sure to stay tuned right here to Nintendo Wire, and we'll keep you caught up. I look forward to chatting with you again next week. Until then, this is Hero TJ signing out. Thanks for playing.